Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to talk about an organization called 200 Plus Men. It's a regional organization. My guests are Vice Mayor Jimmy Gray and Cash Green. Welcome.
Good morning, Robin. Good.
So this is a huge organization, but it's not one that comes up in conversation a lot. I think because it's so widespread, you guys cover almost all of Hampton roads, right?
We do. We have members of the Hampton Roads Committee of 200 Plus Men that come from all around the Hampton Roads area. As a matter of fact, we had a new member join recently. He was from Richmond. So,
oh, wow.
Our footprint is expanding, across the region and beyond.
And what is the mission of your group?
Well, our focus is to, inspire and enable, young people, particularly African-American young men, to, reach their fullest potential. And then we've created programs that will help facilitate that, especially working with young men through middle school, through the high school years. So we're focused on, exposing them to what's good in our region and beyond, and hopefully, inspire and mentor them to get a good education, and hopefully one day graduate and be a 3.0 scholar and recognize at our biggest event that we hold every year, which is our 200 Plus Scholars Breakfast. All
right, well, we're going to talk about that, but give me just a minute. Cash, how did you get involved in the group?
I got involved. I went to a breakfast that was about empowering the community. Greg Garrett, and I think of him like an evangelist. He was promoting helping young African Americans that are in high school, and they needed our support and a cloud of mentors and professional leaders in the community that could aid them in being successful. It pulled on my heart.
Because your sons are gone.
Yes.
They're out in the world. They're productive. You've done your job. But you're doing your job again.
I was free.
Right.
Right. And I just really felt like it reminded me of myself when I was young, right? I'm this smart kid, at least I think, and it would have been nice to have professional African American and also just individuals, it doesn't matter about the race, that cared about mentoring me and inspired me. So I felt like I could give this back to the community and be a vital role in someone's life and could make the difference. And so Greg Garrett got me.
He's powerful.
Yes.
So tell me about your mentoring program first. How does that work? How do you identify the students who could benefit?
Well, we're in our sixth year of the 200 Plus Scholars Academy. That's our mentoring program that's open to middle school and high school students in the region. It begins with an application and an interview with students and parents. We don't advertise a lot because now we have a little over 50 young men from around the region involved in the program, and so we get a lot of advertisement through word of mouth. So
and that's good because there's probably a network of, they know other people who would benefit, and that word of mouth is wonderful.
Yes, and some of the young men, a lot of them don't have male role models in the home, and so we look to try to fill that gap. Each of the young men in our program is assigned a mentor from our membership, and we work with them a monthly developmental session that's about 2 hours long, the third Saturday of every month, and then throughout the month there are different activities, what we call enrichment activities, that we take the young men out in the community: basketball game, laser tag, football games, concerts. There's a bit of the arts and culture involved in it as well, and a lot of times people in the community or organizations in the community will offer us opportunity to attend some of those events at no cost for our young men, and so we've gotten a lot of exposure with the program, and so we appreciate the commitment that we've gotten from the community to be able to expose our young men to so many different things that are going on.
Now, programs that are region-wide are sometimes, there's 3-4 times as many people on the south side as there are on the peninsula, and that divide of the bridge tunnel is not moving very well at this point
Yes.
in time. How do you bridge that bridge?
Well, there's a commitment from our men in our organization to host that program every Saturday, every third Saturday, and but we let when we interview kids to come into the program, we're interviewing them and their parent or guardians, because this is not a program where you drop your son off and we take care of him. So if you were to come to our meeting on a Saturday morning, you'll see 35 or 40 kids, but you'll also see the room filled with parents who come from the south side, and so there's no need to come over here and then drive all the way back, for a 2-hour trip. So the parents stay, and so sometimes we'll have a special session that's open to the parents, and we'll do that in a separate room. But other times they're just sitting right there in the room with their sons while they are listening to speakers and presentations.
And this is all on this side at YH? Or?
Yes, so we host. We have our program is hosted at YH Thomas Community Center, and so we have about I mentioned 50, a little more 50 kids in the program now, and then about 20 of those are actually Hampton students. But we have them from Newport News, York County. I mentioned a young man who comes from Richmond because his grandfather is a member of the organization and is on our Scholars Academy committee. So his mother brings him down from Richmond to be a part of the program. But they come from all over the region, but it's all based right here in the city of Hampton.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes.
So what kind of a difference have you seen? Are you involved in the mentoring side or the breakfast side? Like, what is your role?
My role is media and communications. It is to get the word out on television like we're doing now, and to newspaper organizations, print. Princess Anne was a Princess Anne Independent. I was so grateful that they had heard of the organization, and so when I mentioned it, they understood our mission and our purpose. My goal now is to get more awareness in the corporate division, where you have these large corporations, because it takes money to fuel the different events that we do. I attended the caravan to Richmond.
Yeah.
And so even though I'm on the media and communications, I wanted to see the organization firsthand. I took my wife and we saw the kids. I'm helping someone tie a tie. They learned about the legislative process. They were introduced to delegates. They were able to see the lieutenant governor. They were able to be in chamber. And I felt like this is why this is near to my heart. And I'm going to continue to spread the word through media and print and television. And so the more corporate sponsors, the more we can launch this organization, which has been in existence, 25 years, and but we are going to succeed, and we're going to succeed with corporate sponsors.
At corporate sponsors, and you have an event coming up that is a fundraiser. Do you want to tell us what? You have this event every year, so we're going to say this happens in the spring, and we'll put the date up on the screen, but that is a huge part of what you do, both fundraising and emotionally, I think.
Yeah. And it's the 200 Plus Scholars Breakfast, which we call our signature event that we have every third Saturday in May, and we're just
Oh,
excited about this year because this is our 25th year. And we've only missed 1 year
wow.
during COVID. And so this is our 25th anniversary event. And so we've been doing this event, which started back in 1998 when the organization was formed in 1997. And their first event that they put on for the community was a community forum in which they honored about 9 high school students who were graduating with a 3.0 or better GPA. And from there, the organization began to do an annual event, and so I have been involved with the organization since 2005. I became the Scholars Breakfast Chair during that time as a member of the Board of Directors, and so here we are 25 years, 25 events later, really celebrating African American academic excellence in the Hampton Roads community.
Well, I think it's important to showcase that because, what you hear about young African American males on the news is not representative of the majority of young African American males. It's it shows that they do succeed. Not just that they can, but they do.
Yes, that's so true. And the whole point of doing the Scholars Breakfast and focusing the attention, shining the light on young African American males is so that you can kind of counter that negative image that sometimes people have, because of what you see on the nightly news. We've got some young men in our community who are doing good work in the classroom, and we've, throughout the years, we've had young men who have graduated, who've been honored at our event, come back after college, working in the region, served on our board, served as speakers for the Scholars Breakfast, and so they're a real testament to, the power of honoring what the young men do, because you can see their progress, see them progress in life, and then be able to come back and showcase them at another time.
So you started with, I forget the exact number, you said like 8-ish?
The first event
Something
was
like
8
that.
or 9 students.
How many do you have now?
Last year, at the 24th event, we honored 766 African American males from the region, and that is from public and private schools throughout Hampton Roads. Now,
let's assume they're not all able to attend.
That's true. There are a lot of competing events.
But within that room, what does it feel like?
Well, the power of the breakfast is to see, we start off, we kick the breakfast off with what we call the Parade of Scholars.
That's when I started crying when I saw that video.
And so when those young men, process into the ballroom to a standing ovation, you see tears in eyes, you see that long standing ovation for them. And that's the most powerful moment in the event, is just to see the room filled with so many young men all dressed up, and we're there to honor them for their hard work in the classroom.
It is. I have not been. I've only seen the videos, but it's like, the applause is lifting people off the ground.
Yes,
I think that room, shakes. It's just amazing.
And I want to say that while we're here this morning because we want the community to know about the Scholars Breakfast, the event sells out every year. We have a built-in audience of family members, friends, school staff, community leaders who come out and support the event. And there are times when some parents wait until the last minute to buy their tickets, and we've got to scramble to try to find extra tickets because we've
you don't want to lock a parent out.
sold out. But we really want the parents to be there. But it's not so much trying to get people and sell the tickets. It's really trying to make the community aware of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and who we're honoring at the event. But we would love for them to go online right now and buy a ticket to come to the event.
Absolutely, and we'll put that website up on the screen. Or they could just make a donation. Let's say tickets are sold out, they want to support your organization, they can still make a donation, or volunteer time. I would imagine you could always use a few extra volunteers.
No doubt. We're an all-volunteer organization, and we would love to have men, at the end of our event. We have applications. We've had people who join immediately after the event. We have people who write checks at the end of the event as donations, and so, we appreciate any all contributions, donations from the community to help us fund the program, because we have, in Hampton, we'll have about 1,300 people in attendance. The honorees, there are about anywhere from 250 to 300 may actually show up, because there are a lot of other track meets and other events going on that kids can't, and are not able to attend. But it doesn't cost anything for the young men. And so there are costs and expenses involved with the breakfast that we try to cover through ticket sales or sponsorships.
That's wonderful. All right, well, we've been talking for a while, and they're signaling me. Is there anything either of you wants to add before we close?
Well, I would add that the breakfast this year is May 20th at 9 o'clock at the Hampton Roads Convention Center. Our speaker is Clayton Turner, who is the director at NASA Langley Research Center, actually a Hampton resident, and works right here in the city of Hampton. So we're looking forward. I've heard Clayton speak on many occasions. He's a great speaker, and I think he'll bring a great message for our young men. And so we ask the community to come out and support the event this year again at the Hampton Roads Convention Center.
All right.
Yes.
Cash, anything?
It would be go online, look at all of the events that we're doing, the wonderful people that are involved, and you're going to see that the 200 Plus Men organization is the future.
All right, thank you. And thank you for watching. I think these guys have given you complete direction on what you do next, so let's listen to them. Thanks again.